ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another episode of the CD Racoola Show. Today's show will be taking a gander at the 2025 film Black Phone 2. Before we get into this episode of the show, if you guys out there could hit that big juicy red subscribe button, I would lick your blood. I mean, I'd like you a lot. So, getting back to the Black Phone 2 here, I was elated when I realized there was going to be a Black Phone 2, because I thought the original Black Phone film, based on the short story by Joe Hill, was absolutely fantastic. I actually did an episode on the original Black Phone film, if you guys want to check that out, if you have the time. The grabber villain, played by Ethan Hawke, who returns as the character, as the baddie, is just so cool and so evil. And that mask he has can rearrange into different configurations. Oh, it's just so scary and cool. So, needless to say, I was pumped. But I was also a little surprised, a little perplexed, if you will, because obviously the grabber was killed off in the first film, which made me think that the Black Phone was a one and done, a one-hit wonder. So I was really intrigued to see how they brought the grabber back from the dead, so to speak, in the Black Phone 2. Also, beware here, boysies and girlsies, because spoilers are ahead. There were some parts of this movie that I really liked, and some parts that were just whatever, you know. So, the grabber's back from hell and is kind of ghosting around this camp in Colorado called Alpine Lake that he used to work at back in the day, where he killed 3 campers and buried them in the ice. The bodies of the kiddies were never found, and their unfound bodies are giving the grabber the power to come back from hell. That is how I came to believe it anyway. So it was up to Finney, whom was the kid that killed the grabber in the original, and his sister Gwen, who has visions. Gwen sees dead people, so to say. She has kind of a sixth sense. Speaking of Gwen's visions, I did kind of have a small beef with her, fuzzy dream sequences. They were a little too Nightmare on Elm Street for me. Like, if she fell asleep, the grabber was going to get her. It's kind of already been done by my boy Freddy Krueger, and while I love me the grabber, Freddy is the king of the dream horror genre, in my not-so-humble opinion. Also, they figure out that it was the grabber who hung their mother, and that she didn't commit suicide. At the end of the film, they figured this out. Kind of a little twisty that they threw in there just for funsies. A couple of things I did really like about this film was the grabber's look. Was a lot more hellish and monstrous with his crazy-looking Albert Einstein hairstyle, but still keeping that same mask that is so iconic and cool. You get to see a couple different looks here from the grabber as he tears it off, and we see the monstrous jaw, and eventually the full face reveal underneath. I also liked the fact that it played on hell as being icy cold. The grabber even says, "Hell isn't fire, it's ice." Pretty cool line. I feel like Sub-Zero should steal that one in the next Mortal Kombat and do some kind of fatality with the grabber mask. I didn't like the way this film ended up in a nice, tidy little happy box. I was kind of waiting to see a shot of the grabber mask peeking up through the ice, or his hand break through a big patch of ice at the end, all gnarled and frostbit. Oh, that would be cool. And they really missed an opportunity, in my opinion. I wouldn't think there would be a Black Phone 3, but I wouldn't put it by them, as Ethan Hawke has expressed interest in coming back as the grabber for a third installment in the franchise. Maybe following the grabber into the afterlife. Ooh, that would be interesting. How awesome would that be to follow the grabber into hell? That being said, I did think this was not as good as the original movie. No way was it as good. But I do like the grabber character, and I liked the creative way they brought the character back to us, because we needed some more. So I'm going to give this film a score that is directly in the middle of the old scoreometer, because while it had some greatness and some spots that were just ho-hum, it's worth a watch, I think, that's for sure. I would like to thank you for joining me here on this episode of the CD Racoola Show. If you guys could pick up your black phone, or whatever color phone you have, and hit that subscribe button, I'd love you to death. I'd maybe even love you well into the afterlife and icy cold hell. Please join me next episode as we get into the film Primate. Should be a lot of fun. So till next time, my little blood bags out there in YouTube land, just keep in mind, if you ever come upon an old rotary phone and it's just ringing off the hook, it's probably some ghost just pestering you. So let it go to voicemail. Then the ghost will probably text you or slip into your DMs or something, but whatever. Ta-ta, my dears. Ta-ta.